Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing a lovely 42mm rose gold Zenith El Primero 36'000 vibration per hour. It is a chronograph, it is a chronometer, it is an El Primero, and it is wearable at 42mm in diameter by 13.1 millimeters thick, 50.1 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip across the wrist with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. The timepiece wears well on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. In this case size, I can recommend it for a wrist of 15 centimeters circumference or larger. It's thin enough to fit underneath the cuff. It's not an ultra thin, but it's got a sloped case flank and a domed bezel. As a result, it will slide underneath the dress cuff if you need it to. But it is broad across the wrist, which is why I advise that you not wear it on a wrist smaller than 15 centimeters circumference. Taking a look at the strap, Zenith does straps well. Large rectangular scale alligator leather in a dark brown finish, matte finish, with a little bit of bolstering to give it some thickness. You can see it features a folded edge and a monotone stitch, and then on the underside, this brand new Zenith factory strap has rubber. Feels good against the wrist, and it isolates the leather from the moisture, oil, sweat, and grit of the wrist for long wearing durability of the strap. We have a simple Zenith star logo, pin buckle, and matching rose gold. And this is the case that would later become known as the current Zenith Chronomaster case. A lovely rounded side with high polish, squared off lugs, a little break between the bevel and the satination on the lug hood, and pump style pushers, a bit of a vintage look. And you can see even underneath the crown, Zenith thinking of everything. There's a curve so you can more easily dig your nail in underneath the crown. They give you that little slot to slide in. All of it with a very narrow conical bezel and high polish, and a dramatically boxed cambered sapphire that's designed to look like a vintage plexiglass. It gives this 36,000 vibration per hour model a little bit of a heritage aesthetic. The dial features concentric rings, one outboard with a little bit of a Rehaut slope. That's the tachymeter for gauging the speed of an object. Inboard that with satin finish in metallic silver. We have a minute track, and then you can see the hash marks on the tachymeter run all the way around, so you can gauge the speed of objects moving between 500 and 60 units. And if you're handy with your mental decimals, you can scale that down a little bit, but it's generally there for gauging the speed of very fast things. We have rose-plated steel indices, applique of course, as well as rose-plated steel hands. We have a silver sunburst center dial with overlapping registers. And then, of course, the watch is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer with the date down below the chronometer annotation, replacing an index for greater elegance. We may as well do a loom shot now, why not? As you can see, the watch is readable in the night, automatic winding, features a sporty chronograph and tachymeter scale, and it's 100 meters water resistant, so though it has a dress watch aesthetic, it is a sports watch at heart. And of course, we have this blued needle style seconds hand or lancet style seconds hand with a Zenith Star logo counterweight. The watch features a crisp and satisfying column wheel action. And then, because this is an El Primero, it does not feature hacking seconds, but it does include a quick set date. Flip it all over, take a look at the movement. The classic Zenith El Primero caliber 400, 31 joules, bidirectional automatic winding, 50-hour power reserve, 10 beats per second. One of the reasons this 36,000 vibration per hour watch is thusly named, but also a reason why the sweep of the chronograph seconds hand is smoother on an El Primero than on a conventional chronograph. It's a good-looking lateral clutch column wheel chrono. I mentioned that the column wheel makes for a crisp and sharp sounding and feeling action, and then the lateral clutch is a little bit more beautiful than a vertical clutch. It's not as efficient, but you can see it, whereas vertical clutches are generally buried inside the works. The El Primero shows you a surprising amount of the underlying chronograph. Most automatic chronos hide all the fun stuff underneath the winding bridge. Here you have the levers, the horns, the column wheel, the clutch, the recentering hammers. You see the works, all of it, including the recentering springs and the hammer springs. It's a really good looking chronograph. And of course, it has a combination of polished and blued screws. They serve different purposes on an El Primero, variously adjustment and then physical fixture holding things in place. That's why we have two different colored screws in this movement. Reach out to Tim Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Zenith El Primero 36,000 vibration per hour.